is Ohio Senator Rob Portman. And Senator, thank you for being here today.
Hey, Becky, good to be on with you again.
So what are you seeing so far? I know this is very early days. The tax law only passed a couple of weeks ago. It's only been in effect for a couple of days. But what are you seeing in your own state at this point?
You know, I'm seeing people getting some better paychecks because yesterday I got news that another small business in Ohio wants me to come visit them tomorrow. On Tuesday, I was at a small manufacturer in Cincinnati, and in both cases, these are small companies, but companies that are excited about the tax relief, and they're giving their employees bonuses. They're putting more in the 401k plans. In one case, they're giving more to charity. So it's happening nationwide in Ohio. As you know, yesterday announced that they're going to move forward with bonuses as well and provide more for their 401ks. So people are excited about that. And as you and I have talked about before, that in combination with the middle class tax cuts is really important. But I think it's overshadowed by the fact that you will actually have businesses moving production back to America. I've talked to a number of CEOs over the past several months about the tax reform as it relates to international business. They can now be competitive here in America, and foreign companies will be investing more here in America. So to me, that's even the bigger story, and I know you're going to cover it when it happens, but I think you'll see some big news coming up as to companies that are literally moving factories from overseas back to the United States.
I want to talk about manufacturing more in depth in just a moment, but let's talk a little bit more about the tax bill first. We have talked about how the tax bill was not popular when it was being conceived in Congress, particularly in a lot of the blue states where they're going to see those SALT deductions come down. What do you hear from your constituents in Ohio? What are you getting in terms of feedback? And is this going to be something that it takes some time before people really buy into, or is it something that's already popular there?
Well, look, I think these announcements are making it more realistic for people. They can see it's actually happening in the way that some of us had talked about. But proof's in the paycheck, too. So I think come February, when people see their withholdings change, in other words, when they look at their paycheck and see that Uncle Sam is taking less out of the paycheck and more is going to the family budget, I think that'll be a big difference for people. Folks are skeptical, about Washington in general right now, and I get that. But it is real middle-class tax relief, and it's going to affect people's bottom line. So I think that will be important. And then, as I say, when you start to see even bigger moves, and what I'm talking about is, companies that are invested in Ohio now saying they're going to put more money into Ohio. They're telling me that because the lower rates and the expensing and so on makes it better to put an investment in America rather than in Japan or in China or in Germany.
But
so I think you're going to see that as well.
I'm guessing that you are getting people who are calling in, writing in, people who maybe you met at home over the holidays who are saying that they're not pleased with it right now, that it is going to take some time before even people in Ohio.
Well, no, I'm getting just the opposite, because when I go to the grocery store, which I did a lot over the last week or so, and to the gas station, I mean, people just say thanks, and went through the TSA line yesterday, and the TSA guy said, hey, thanks for my tax cut. So I think people are starting to see it. What I've said all along, Becky, as you know, is go check it out for yourself. I mean, don't take my word for it. Go on the jct.gov, which is the Joint Committee website, which is a nonpartisan group. But go on to a tax calculator. Washington Post has one. Others have them. Figure it out for yourself.
Rob, I'll put you in touch with my accountant, and you are not going to hear a thank you. Because we have New York and New Jersey
Joe,
problems.
Is that Joe or Andrew?
I'm okay.
Okay, Joe. Here's the average. Here's the average deduction in Ohio for state and local taxes, $2,500. Here's the average in the county where you live, $25,000.
I know.
So is that fair? I mean,
no.
Really?
You're preaching to the choir. I'm just saying that there's no. If I see you in the gas station, I'm not going to say thanks. I don't. No, I will. Hey, I have something even touchier.
Well, I think you'll say thanks because the economy is improving all around you.
I mean, that's the stock market. I'm okay.
I just want to know what the senator thinks, though, of some states like New York. You've heard Cuomo and others float different ideas around how to get around
payroll
this
tax,
from a state. Either you're running things through the payroll tax. Creating a 501c3, for example, where effectively taxpayers are paying into a charity. Do you think either any of those things should work, or would hold up?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to give tax advice here, but I will say that I think you have to look at this in terms of what the overall effect is. One, the economy is going to be improved because of this, and I said, this is a longer-term play, too. I mean, this is going to result in American workers being more competitive every day and foreign investors liking America better. Right. Basically, America is going to be a better place to do business. We probably went from the worst business tax code among all the developed countries to one of the best overnight. So it's going to take a while for that to sink in. And then second is on the state and local taxes and property taxes, there is a deduction. It's capped at $10,000. You know, it is something that is philosophical. I mean, if you think that the federal government ought to be subsidizing the states for taxes, then you feel differently about it. But
we
if
have
you
other,
think that
Rob, we have other problems. We got
competition between the
agents.
states.
We have